Today I will be discussing a brand new program that I am co-directing called Neighborhood Engagement at the University of the Arts, also known as NEUARTS. The story of NEUARTS began exactly 1 year ago when Dr. Anna Barrison and myself were brought together by our students. For a few years they had been telling us, "You're speaking the same language, you're instilling in us the same values, you two have to get together and talk." So finally, after a little while and over coffee and introductions, we realized that our students were definitely correct. Though Anna teaches in the liberal arts department and I teach in photography, our message was the same. Before I tell you about NEUARTS, I'm going to explain the personal work that Anna and I facilitated in separate departments that laid the groundwork for our own collaboration. Dr. Anna Barrison is a multidisciplinary scholar with 2 PhDs, one in psychology and one in folklore. Anna's personal research focuses on the importance of play and creative processes for children. Her books Recess Battles and The Art of Play both advocate for free play inside and outside of the classroom. At UArts, she teaches courses like Observing Children, Introduction to Folklore, and Game Design. Dr. Barrison's research has showed that 50% of Philadelphia public elementary schoolyards are inadequate. Many schools use their playgrounds as parking lots for teachers, and most have cracked surfaces or no equipment. Her program, Recess Access, engages University of the Arts students to help collect and distribute free materials such as hoops, balls, chalk, and jump rope to local public schools in need. My own background in photography and community art directly informed my pedagogy. I have worked in many diverse communities nationally and internationally to facilitate art making. I've learned a lot from stretching outside of my comfort zone to embrace what is different, and I knew that my students could benefit from similar experiences. In 2012, I developed a new elective for UArts students called Community Engagement Photography. As I was writing my master's thesis, it was becoming more apparent to me that the 2 groups of students I was teaching could benefit significantly from working together. A partnership was born between the photography department at UArts and the Goodlands, a Latino nonprofit organization serving kindergarten through 5th graders in North Philadelphia. Our first course included 17 undergraduates and 55 elementary school students who embarked on a semester-long journey in digital and analog photography, as well as creative processes. Community engagement photography has continued its relationship with the Goodlands and has also collaborated with the homeless population served by the Broad Street Ministry. As Dr. Barrison and I compared notes, we realized our values were completely in sync. We knew that our undergraduates needed more opportunities to engage with the world around them, and we were both immensely concerned about the lack of arts education in our public schools. As you may have read in the news recently in the New York Times, the Philadelphia School District is struggling. The Philadelphia Cultural Alliance reports that the Pennsylvania state education budget has been cut by $900 million in the past 2 years, forcing public schools across the state to make extreme cuts in extracurricular programs and staff, including complete elimination of the already diminished art and music programs that are so essential to our students and to cultivating the creative vitality of our region. The Philadelphia School District in particular has been struggling with a $300 million budget shortfall. Personally, I have worked in schools without books, paper towels, or clean water, let alone art supplies. If our young people do not have access to creative expression, to art materials and musical instruments, and perhaps most importantly, to mentors to help them to discover their inherent creativity, how are institutions like ours expected to sustain in the future? With all this in mind, Dr. Barrison and I began developing NEUARTS. We envisioned a systematic engagement program specifically for undergraduates that included a handful of community arts-based courses that were driven by reciprocal learning, the idea that 2 groups of students from different demographics could work together and offer their pre-existing skills to one another through arts-based collaboration. We knew that we were very lucky to work within such a multifaceted university, and we had a feeling that other faculty members like ourselves would agree upon the benefits of an established outreach program at our institution. And so we began causing trouble. More than 40 interviews were conducted within the UArts community with the Pennsylvania Art Education Partnership, the Center for Teaching and Learning, Art Education, Student Affairs, the Center for Creative Economy, the Continuing Education Department, and faculty in music, dance, theater, art, media, and design. We reached out to our Philadelphia arts community and spoke with the Philadelphia Higher Education Network for Neighborhood Development, the Build a Bridge organization, Philly Rising, Fleischer Art Memorial, the After School Directors Guild, and the Dream Academy at Childs Elementary. We looked at other local universities and their methods for engagement and outreach. If you look at the map, it is apparent that Temple University's outreach opportunities are primarily conducted in North Philadelphia, while Drexel and the University of Pennsylvania work with diverse communities in West Philadelphia and University City. We realized that our own community for collaboration was right in our own backyard, within walking distance of the university. And that neighborhood, south of Center City, is called Point Breeze. This photograph shows a portion of Philadelphia's Broad Street called the Avenue of the Arts, which is home to the University of the Arts campus. Just steps away from City Hall, next door is the Walnut Street Theater, the oldest continuously operating theater in the United States. As you walk further south on the Avenue of the Arts, you'll soon come upon the Academy of Music, which is home to the Pennsylvania Ballet, and then to the Kimmel Center for Performing Arts, which is the official home of the Philadelphia Orchestra. If you continue to walk south on Broad Street, you will notice that where the Avenue of the Arts ends, the landscape changes dramatically. The under-resourced community of Point Breeze has isolated groups that are adjacent to an arts oasis. Recently, gentrification advocates have rallied to rename Point Breeze to hide its violent history, adding a sense of shame. Short-term projects have emerged in this neighborhood, but community members have called for long-term partnerships, technical skills, and materials. As we suspected, there is plenty of data that shows a lack of arts and cultural opportunities for residents in this neighborhood. You'll see a degradation of cultural participants per household on the map from Center City to Point Breeze. I searched endlessly for arts-based organizations in this neighborhood, and I had a very hard time figuring out where kids go after school. We decided that NEUARTS should tap into the after-school network, the recreation center network, the church network, and the mayor's office. Instead of working separately, we want to utilize these existing networks to form a coalition centered on after-school art linked to the university. There are shared resources around food and clothing, and we seek to establish a shared network around art specifically for the children of Point Breeze. With this vision in mind, the NEUARTS pilot course made its debut. Art Stories Kids Stories began this fall and is a partnership with the Dream Academy, an after-school program at Childs Elementary that caters to children with incarcerated parents. Students enrolled in the after-school program are in 3rd to 8th grade. Dr. Barrison and I are very lucky to have undergraduates from multiple disciplines who enrolled in our course. We're working with sophomores, juniors, and seniors who major in a wide array of visual arts concentrations, as well as a handful of students from the theater and dance departments. UArts students began the semester by developing 6 electives to offer the Dream Academy. The Dream Academy kids picked their 3 favorite electives from the bunch. We're currently facilitating collaborative workshops called game making, film, special effects and camera tricks, and crafts for giving. We have 18 undergraduates working with 35 young people. Art Stories Kids Stories will continue its partnership with the Dream Academy next semester, and next year we will expand NEUARTS to 3 sites that include collaborations with Vare Recreation Center and Diversified Community Services. Thanks to a grant from the Zeldin Foundation, we are able to extend a stipend and a small supply budget to faculty from all disciplines who would like to submit proposals to team teach these courses in 2015. Our class is not product-driven, it's process-oriented. In a city where many students have minimal access to the arts in their schools, we are hoping to evoke creativity through collaboration. We hope that our undergraduates leave the university understanding that their gifts can extend past their own studio spaces, preparing them to work as teaching artists in the future if they choose to do so. We strive to teach our young people that their artistic ability is not something to disregard. Many of the children we work with are intimidated by the idea of higher education because they are so disillusioned by their public school experience. And we reinforce the idea that not only can they go to college, they can pursue a degree specifically in the arts. Lastly, we instill in all students that the diversity among individuals is what makes us interesting and dynamic. If we were all the same, we would be less inspired. This program is very young, and I look forward to speaking to my ACAD colleagues later in the day about any wisdom that you have to offer. Thank you for your attention.